Hello there. Welcome to another live stream. I don't know if you guys watched last Monday. But I did a pumpkin by Adam and Noah, and this week I decided to kind of go back to the that page of Josh Black designs, and you guys kind of voted for the top left one, this female. So we're gonna be sculpting that one today. So welcome if you're just rolling in. All right, and I just need to share this. Hey. All right, my internet's being slow today. Hey from Turkey. All right. Yeah, this will be a fun one. Okay, there we go. Share now. And share to a page. All right. We're ready to rock and roll here. Okay, so let's get started. Welcome everybody. Got my my Link shirt on. This is one of my favorite shirts. Link blowing into an old Nintendo cartridge. It's a lot of fun. All right. So let's just start with this sphere. Hey, what's up, Spicer? How you doing, man? Spicer, did you do a pumpkin? Sorry, I have my mic in a different location today. So it's not up in the way, but it's kind of down here, and when I laugh, I breathe into it. So I apologize for that. We're gonna try it though. See. Okay, so we have this as usual. We start with a sphere, and her head is awfully round, but I like it round. It's fun. It's a fun concept. Hey, what's up, Neil? Thank you so much. I always appreciate you posting the links. Makes it nice. Hey, Jorge. It's going well. I'll be doing a pumpkin on this week's stream. Awesome. Very cool. Hey, Petero. Sorry. Okay. So let's just get to shape in this thing. I am doing well, thanks. Despite, you know, all the fun that's happening in the world at the moment. Got my flu shot today, so I'm all immunized. Hopefully that works. Loving this reference. Thanks. Yeah, this is another one from Joshua Black. I was just barely talking to him. Let me show you. I'm going to show you guys how the pumpkin turned out. I rendered it out. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Ta-da! So I rendered this out in Blender, and just using the GoB plugin to push it over there. And I found this image that I wanted to kind of put it in front of, and then I backlit it and made the irises emissive, and then put some point lights in the sockets to light them up. And there's a little bit of a light coming from the front, but mostly from the back to make it look like it's being lit by the moon back there. Kind of fun. So, yep, it's a lot of fun to render it in Blender, because I'm gonna just pop this up for just a second, because I can have Eevee open over here on the left, and you know, mess around with the object over here on the right and watch it update in real time. That's insane to me. So I love it. Okay, back to sculpting this. Now I'm not gonna dig her jawline too much. Now my my custom menu isn't popping up. That might work, or that might happen to you. And if it ever does, if you have some custom user interface or something like that, and you have some custom menus and they never pop up, in order to fix it, all you got to do is go to Preferences, Config, and then hit Restore Custom UI. As soon as I hit that, now my menu's back and it works again. So a little bit of a tip for you there. I'm doing well. Andre, how are you? Thank you for stopping by, hanging out with me today. Appreciate it. Yes, I have used both Unreal and Unity. I developed in Unreal when it wasn't what it is today. I worked on a, so a few games that I've worked on. Advent Rising was one of them. If you guys remember that game, it was on the Xbox, the original Xbox. And that was an Unreal title. And I worked on Brother Bear for the PC, and that was an Unreal title. And then Unity, we used Unity at a company called Cast AR. And yeah, I like them both, you know. Just squish this up and kind of have it resolve itself back here. Hello, Harry. How you doing, man? Welcome everybody to another live stream. Okay, that's looking crazy. I gotta fix this. Oh, that's why. I meant to turn spotlight projection off, but then my menu didn't work, and I got caught up in like, why isn't this working? And then I forgot to turn spotlight projection off. Okay, so. Wait, what? Where are you? Where are you that there's snow? Usually it's me saying that. Because we have some crazy snow happen in Utah. Iowa. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But hey, 2020, you know, it happens. Okay. And she has got a tiny little neck. You know, that was funny. Like I said, we went to get our flu shots today. We got them at Costco, and they had Christmas stuff out. Yeah, they're the ones to blame, for sure. I completely 100% agree with you. If you're going to put Christmas stuff out, you're going to get snow. You're going to anger the Halloween gods. Just be patient, people. Be patient. It's like a what is that? It's like a pea on a toothpick. What does that guy say? It's like an orange on a toothpick. Good old Mike Myers. Is it bad to use a base mesh at the start? Well, if you want my personal opinion, I would say yes, because it's going to do two things. One, it's going to influence your model. It doesn't, you know, it will typically influence your model. So wherever you start from, like your base model, it will sort of look like that model in the end, typically. And then if you're just starting out, you're not going to be learning anything, basically, if you're starting with a base mesh, because if you didn't build it yourself, then it's already done for you, right? So I typically, even though you know, I've been doing this for a long time, I will still make my meshes from scratch because I don't want to be influenced by the base mesh. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. Why do you have the face and chin separated? Because it helps with the eye line, like the line where the eyes go, and it will start to naturally create the tear gland in the front, like the corners of the eyes. The two spheres you use to define the head are positioning their intersection for the middle of the eye. Yeah. So it'll basically kind of help with that, and I can kind of judge where the proportions are going to be. Yeah. Hello from Russia. Hello. Welcome to the stream. What time is it in Russia? Well, Russia is huge. So what time is it in the part of Russia you're from? Yeah, no worries, Neil. Okay. So, yeah, let's get some eyes in here just to get them started. I'm gonna make them really large. Let's see. Midnight. Wow. Okay. My question is, can it be animated? Eventually, not now. So eventually, but you will have to do some retopology and make the mesh animatable or deformable. Typically, a sculpted mesh is not animation ready, so you'll have to do a bunch of stuff to make it work. 9 p.m. in a different part of Russia. Okay. Do you think an artist needs at least 3 or more years of practice before making it to the professional industry? That completely depends on you, your art skills. It's more about how good your portfolio is more than how much time you spent practicing. Portfolio is king. Shiloh, I just answered that. I don't know if you caught that. Okay. You live in Iran and learned a lot from your lives. I watched all your lives. Awesome. Well, welcome. Okay, let's split this off. Her eyes are gigantic. We'll see if we can get them even bigger. Might have to scale them up even more than that. Okay. I was wondering what the end date of the Medusa Student Challenge. I think it's the 14th of November. I think so. Hey Shiloh, I answered that question already. Did you not catch that? It can be animated if you retopologize it. After this is going to be a sculpt, so I'm not planning on animating it. Yep, no problem. Hey Henry, how you doing? Thank you, Neil. I can't remember even my own deadlines. November 5th. That's right. Why did I say the 14th? Something is happening on the 14th that's in my brain. Thank you, Neil. All right, let's just get these ears shaped here. Which is the best animation software? It's completely a personal preference. When I was doing animation, I used Maya a lot, but I've also used 3D Studio Max, and yeah, so it just depends on what you know, and yeah. From another Shane, you got the best name ever. Hello, hello. My goodness, these eyes are just so big. Okay. I might have to cheat them a little bit. I usually try and keep my eyes as round, like spherical as possible. But sometimes when you get them so large, particularly with anime eyes, it becomes pretty difficult to keep them spherical. So I'll tend to kind of smash them a little bit. I wish to light up my character in Cinema 4D with Octane Render, but the problem is how I export the hair to work there. Yeah, I've never done that, so I couldn't really speak to that. Hey Shiloh, since this is the Pixologic live streaming channel, and we talk about ZBrush for the most part, and about digital sculpting, not really about animation or what software is the best. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't animated in Blender, and I've only animated in Maya, so I could only say I've used Maya, and I like it. Okay. I'm going to make these just gigantic and see if I can get away with it. Okay. Let's see if we can do that. SGB? Oh yeah, that's a great course. Well, I assume it's a great course because RAF is really, really good. So, yeah, it's a good investment for you. Hey Noob City, how you doing? I'm doing well, thanks. Welcome to the stream. She has just a super subtle little nose. Okay. Let's see here. Just going to straighten out these shoulders a little bit so they don't curve so much down here. Give her some shoulders. There we go. Okay, now I want to combine this and then go to into Sculptors Pro mode, but I'm gonna split this shirt off. Split hidden. Okay. Thank you, Z3. I am having a good day. It's pretty nice. There was a fire across the canyon here. I kind of live up on a hill a little bit, so we can see across the valley, and across the valley is a mountain range, and one of the mountains on the side of it caught on fire, and yeah, we were hoping it wouldn't spread too far, and they were able to contain it before it got too out of control. Okay, I'm gonna make this head much bigger here. Just to give her a bigger forehead and all that. Okay. I've never lived in California. I live in Utah. So it's two states away. A lot of people think I live in California just because I work in the gaming industry, entertainment industry. But I am in Utah. I find it tough to go from cartoony reference to 3D model. I can't seem to let go of making the model look too realistic. You know, a lot of people have that because, you know, you want to inject what you know, not what you see. That's kind of the biggest struggle, the biggest hurdle for a lot of people is you just kind of think in your head, oh, I know this character has like lower eyelids, for example. You know, like, and you put them all in there and then it'll look weird and old and you're wondering why. It's not working, you know, so. Well, am I a Mormon? What, you know, it's funny because it doesn't matter. Every time I say where I'm from, that's always the next question. And it's totally fine. But I was raised LDS, but I don't practice. So a lot of my family members are. My extended family. Okay. Let's see. This is looking old. Okay, I'm just gonna have to tune these eyes as I go here. Aren't most people in Utah not Mormon? I mean, it's getting, you know, there's a large mix of people. There's a gigantic Catholic temple here, so it's all over the place. It's predominantly Mormon for sure. Okay. Do you do retopology and ZBrush or outside? It depends. Dexter, I will usually retopologize my entire character somewhere else, but I will do retopology on smaller portions inside here. Like if I'm creating pieces and parts like armor and things like that, I will keep it inside of ZBrush. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to save it. Josh girl. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I'm going to stitch this together. Oh, I didn't do it symmetrically for some reason. Actually, I'm going to apply these subdivision levels and delete the lower, so it's just a higher resolution like this. Let's hide that other one. Do you ever have to sculpt face blend shapes for animation? Is that a task usually done by the rigger or the modeler? For games, particularly for games, that's where I come from, is the game industry, not the film industry. The game industry, there's typically not blend shapes because they're too expensive. When I say expensive, that means that's just too heavy for the processor to load, like on a console. So facial expressions and animations are typically driven by bones rather than blend shapes. So particularly, I have not had to do those in the past, but I have done some for some cinematics and stuff like that. Okay, let's try this again. It works better with a medium resolution character like this. So that stitches everything together. I like how it like literally stitches it, like it looks like a sewing pattern. Okay, so now what we can do is do a mirror and weld just to make it symmetrical. Turn symmetry back on, and now I can edit turn on Sculptors Pro, and then I will always go into stroke and turn adaptive size off, and then start messing with this size a little bit. That's too big. Crank it down a little bit. That's good. Okay. Let's see. How long have you been sculpting? Well, I've been character modeling. Sorry, let me to pop there. I've been character modeling since for a long time. Since like 1998, 1999, something like that. That's when I started modeling characters, and sculpting, like digital sculpting, probably 6-7 years, something like that. Okay, I just like to do this just to get kind of a rough sculptress base. Then I can just that way everything's triangulated, and Sculptors Pro is basically just dynamically generated topology. And so basically, I'm gonna make her mouth now, and I'm just gonna mask out a portion here, just a little section. I do, Neil. You're right. I honestly want to see if I can save my project file with adaptive size turned off and see if it saves. So just a little tip for you guys. There's two ways to save inside of ZBrush. You can save Z tools and you can save Z projects. And Z projects will save everything. They save all of your tools, all of your your models, everything you have loaded. And then it will save all of your brush settings and your slider settings and all of that kind of stuff too. So, but the problem with projects, in my opinion, is they get really, really big pretty fast because they save everything. They save history if you want them to save history, and they can get to be, several gigs in size a piece. So instead, what I do is I save Z tools, which you do by saving that up here, right here. So the save as, and then you can load as up here. And then I use project files as kind of my storage setting files, like the way I want to, my user interface and all my brush settings to be when I first start. So I have this ruler file that I've made, and it stores all my settings, and so it basically has all my settings ready to go. And that's when I load it up, and then I load a Z tool into that. So if you guys are interested, I give away that that file for free, that project file. You can go grab it over at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. And I also give away these brushes as well. You can check that out. Hey, Leslie, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you for a while. Oh, thanks, Marco. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, Leslie. So here, dude, I got to show you this. I got to show you how I worked with Joseph Drust from Pixologic to kind of get this worked out. But this ruler file, let me unhide the ruler. You can see her head's kind of jammed in here. And if I turn on the floor, so by default, the ZBrush grid, it kind of snaps to one side of your model and underneath your model, and it moves as you scale your model up and down. So you don't really know how big your model is in comparison with the scale of the world, like the ZBrush world, right? So basically, I set this whole thing to be 2 meters tall. So you can see how this ruler says 2M right here, 1 meter, 2 meters. I mean, it's also a centimeter ruler and it's also a millimeter ruler because it's in metrics, you know. I understand that it's not really there, you know, 20 centimeters doesn't equal 2 meters, but I'm just saying it's divisible by 10, so you can use it as a meter or a centimeter ruler, right? That's the beauty of it. And basically, I set this grid to measure every 10 ticks. So it's set to centimeters. And if I want to, I can set the grid to smaller so I can have it line up to all the millimeters in case I'm doing a 3D print or something like that. I use this ruler a lot for 3D printing. And then I also set up the transpose line, the tick marks on the transpose line to line up with the tick marks here. So you could like literally use it as a ruler to measure like how many millimeters thick something is, and it will be correct. So correct in relation, sorry if this is going over a bunch of you guys' head, but correct in relation to the world ruler. So as long as you do not scale the ruler, like as long as like, so I don't ever touch that ruler. It's because it is the size in relation to the world. So basically you can scale everything to that ruler, and then you can print it out the exact size in relation to that ruler. Sorry, I went on a big tangent there. So basically, what you can do is you can set the export. So if you go into the 3D print exporter over here, okay, there's like this 3D print hub. And if you choose millimeters, there's a known size in this space, and that's 20 or 200 millimeters, right? So this ruler is 200 millimeters. So if you set this to 200 exactly, and then you export it like as an STL, like export to STL, that's usually what 3D printers will read as an STL file. If you export it 200 millimeters, it's going to be proper world size, because it's in relation to this ruler that I made. So anyway, if you guys, honey, you don't have to make one. You can just go get mine. I give it away for free over, like I said, over at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. You can just go grab it. So yeah, Leslie, just if you want to grab it, just go grab it, you know? Yeah. And it puts you on my emailing list, but I don't really email very much at all. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of spam, so I don't email much. You can always just like, you know, unsubscribe really quick if you want. Okay. You're already on there? You already get my spam? Nice. I need to email or more because people forget who I am and what I do. Let's see. Hi, I recently work with freeze subdivisions. The problem I have is I want to use QMesh and make an extrude, but when I unfreeze subdivisions, it changed my QMesh. So okay, I'll just put this out here really fast. Freezing your subdivision levels is a pretty dangerous thing to do. It's there and it works, but I suggest you don't use it unless it's a last resort, because it will change what is going on underneath all of your detail and stuff like that. And it's kind of prone to crashing a little bit because you're basically changing what's happening with that mesh, particularly if you extrude something or weld something or change the point count underneath. Whatever you change, it's going to kind of destroy it, right? When you unfreeze it, basically what it's doing is it's going to recreate all of your subdivision levels and then project your details back onto your mesh. So for me personally, I would rather do that by hand. So I will duplicate my subtool and I will get rid of my subdivision levels and then do my extrusion and all that, and then re-subdivide it and then project it myself so it doesn't break, if that makes sense. Because yeah, just the freezing is kind of sketchy a little bit. All right. More emails and more stylized characters. Yeah, I plan on doing more emails, so hopefully, and some helpful. I'm working pretty hard on getting a YouTube channel started with some little tips and tricks, just like the ruler stuff I was just talking about. I would really like to get that into a YouTube video. Yep, good call. I'll save it real quick. All right, so I'm basically going to take this masked area and hit Control W. Let's do a mirror and weld. Yeah, Vec, I would kind of steer clear of that. Would you agree, Leslie? Do you ever use that? Do you ever use freeze? Okay, let's see. Extrude. So if you guys don't know, Leslie Vandenbroek is here, and all of you guys that are interested in great sculptors, he is one to watch. He does some amazing stuff, and he's an awesome dude. So thought I'd give you a shout out there, Leslie. So yeah, Leslie's awesome. Thanks for dropping by, man. Okay, what am I doing? Extrude, polygroup all. I love it when my sculpting buddies stop by and hang out for a while. All right, I'm just gonna push this in a couple times and make some loops. Sorry, I hope I don't embarrass you, Leslie. Okay, what did that do? Okay, that's weird. For some reason, when I was smoothing it, it like collapsed my polygroups together. That's crazy. No worries. Michael Montoya, why do you go through the sculptor's phase rather than simply Z-remeshing with groups turned on? Doesn't triangulating make things a bit lumpy? Yes, but I prefer it because I don't run out of geometry. So for example, say I'm working on this right now and I forgot to add eyelashes, right? Well, if I'm using Sculptress Pro, I can just, put in an eyelash or sculpt it in or whatever I want. And it has enough geometry to make it, not a big deal. But if this was Z-Remeshed and I forgot to do that, then I would have to do it, restitch it, and then rebuild my entire mesh, and it might destroy some of the stuff that I already have, and that's not what I want. So that's why I like Sculptress Pro. And yes, it can be lumpy, but I will eventually Z-Remesh it when I get to a point, and that will help me make it smooth. So, okay. Just gonna try and make it big. Yeah, no worries, Leslie. Yeah, I love teaching stylized characters. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm gonna turn Sculptress Pro off for a second to smooth this down so it doesn't destroy my polygroups. Gosh dang it. Hey, what's up, Jake? Are you using smooth groups there? I'm just using smooth. And I'm trying to get this to not... I'm just fighting it. That's what's going on. I'm fighting it. Because I want to make this larger inside. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I don't know why I didn't do... This is what I normally do. I don't know why I'm not doing it. So basically, I'll hide everything that's not the mouth interior. So I can see it like this, and then I'll turn on double. And then I can just grab the Z-Modeler brush and insert more loops here. And then what I can do is I can just use inflate on the inside. And then I can hold down Alt and then inverse that inflate to make it big inside of the mouth here. And you don't have to do it, you know, you don't have to do it crazy. I'm just making a mouth cavity. I'm not making it so it's animatable at all. I'm just making it so when I close her mouth, it has a natural closed looking look to it, right? Because right now it looks like a Muppet. I hope you caught my screen. If you're just joining us now, Flip, I'm about 41 minutes into this. So it's, I mean, it's still fairly early. Okay, so now I can kind of just pull this mouth back and round it out. Yes, it looks weird. Hey, Nye, let's see. How long have you been practicing ZBrush, and what's your advice for a beginner? I've been using ZBrush for about 6 or 7 years, something like that. And what is my advice for a beginner is to practice sculpting and practice blocking out characters, like with primitive shapes. And if you can afford it, I suggest joining an online course or taking an online course. And not to promote myself, but I have an online course called the 3D Character Workshop. And it takes you from start to the final character, if you're interested in that. Yeah, so in my course, I have people do I'm still working on it, but I have people block out Saturday morning cartoon characters. Just because they're so simple. And it's not like a realistic human character that you're going to get all caught up in the anatomy and, you know, get lost and not know what you're doing. So you just need to focus on trying to make the character look like the concept first. It's like number one. Then learn anatomy later. Okay, this is looking, we're deep in the valley of the suck right now. This is looking like horrible. But I've been lucky to be able to pull out of that valley before the end of my stream for the most part. So we'll see if I can do it on this one. It's like the worse they look, the more you have to make it look better, right? What am I trying to say? I don't even know. All female stylized heads and body are same for blocking out. Then when you detail it, you make it different. No, not at all. Nope. I would say opposite. I would say all stylized female bodies are different as far as proportion and all that goes. That's why I start from scratch every time. Otherwise, I would start with a base mesh. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me finish this mouth before it gets looking any more horrid. Okay, sorry, I'm going to concentrate here for a minute. All right, I'm going to turn Sculptris Pro a little tighter. That's still not small enough. Okay, so basically I'm running out of triangle. Like it's too big. So I'm going to take the whole thing and scale it up a little bit. Okay. And the skull, I gotta fix it. In industry like you worked for Infinity, how often they tell you to redo your sculpt from scratch? I mean, sometimes we would kit bash to parts together, you know, and particularly if the characters had to live in the same world, you know, and look the same, that there's something to be said about, you know, starting with a base mesh in that occasion. Yeah, Leslie, you can pop your ArtStation on here if you want, so people can give you a follow. There you go. Neil's got it. Okay, let me see. Your eyes are too far forward. There we go. Okay. Hey, Leslie, if you're still here, do you stream too still? Okay, I need to turn this. Okay, I'm just adding more resolution. So basically, Sculptris Pro will only subdivide down so far based off of the world size. So, and that means you'll have to possibly scale up your model to get smaller triangles. And that's what I just did. You don't really do once every month or so. Okay. If I feel like it. Dude, I hear you. What the heck did I do? I replaced my move brush with some kind of deco brush. I didn't even know that that existed. So Leslie, are you still at Blizzard? I haven't talked to you for a while. Sorry, we could talk after. We don't have to talk on the stream if you don't want to. I'm just curious. Oh, you're right. Okay, that's right. That's right. Nice. All right. Let's go to, so there's a hidden brush. This is another thing I should put on my user interface, but there's a hidden brush called Smooth Stronger. When you get either very dense with your Dynamesh or your Sculptris Pro, the regular smooth kind of runs out of gas a little bit, so you need to go get that one. And you can go grab it by hitting comma, going to Lightbox, then going to this brush tab, and then finding the smooth folder. And there's one called Smooth Stronger that's about twice the strength. Extra strength smooth. Oh, are you kidding? Really? You're about to fly out for your interview. Okay. Trip. Man, this year's been so weird. Okay. really high eyebrows. Oh, was it Lightbox? Because you were at ZBrush Summit too, yeah? Okay. Lightbox was a blur last year, not this year, not the virtual one, the in-person one, because I had a booth and it was just like a blur. But it was fun. Oh, that's right. Because I remember hanging out with you at the hotel. Yeah. In the lobby, I remember. Okay, her eyes are so ginormous. Look how big her eyes are. These are they're I have mine like half the size. So yeah, I'm gonna have to fudge it. Because I think if I pull this back and expose more of this, it's just gonna look like a bulbous freakazoid. Even if I push him in a little bit more. All right, so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna squish them. Squish them in kind of this direction. Let me go like maybe right here. Oh, gotta have local symmetry on, kids. Always sneaks up on you. Local symmetry is, if you guys don't know what that is, it basically makes it so it scales on itself rather than on the world. Goodness sakes, look at those things. So I'm trying, the reason I'm squishing them is because I don't want them to be really bulbous, I guess, is the... Yeah, Leslie was on this, Leslie was on the Heroes of the Storm team, did awesome stuff. Okay. That's looking closer. Yeah, I played it quite a bit for a while there. Are you on the league team now? Or can you say? I don't know if you can say. If it's not announced. Sorry to put you on the spot. That's funny. That's funny that you played as Murky. That's all. That's who I played too. Those stinking bubbles, man. It's like if you want to be a jerk, play as Murky. You're just like bubble, bubble, pop. See you later. Okay, let's give her. I was gonna finish these lips. That's what I was working on. Looks like your younger sister. Nice. That's a good thing. All right, sorry, I'm being quiet. I'm just focusing here for a minute. That nose connection is quite out there. You're not? Okay. I gotta fix these. This is the hardest area in the face. Right through here to get right. Oh, let's see. Michael, thanks. I'll take that as a compliment, I guess. Oh, that's funny. People say I have a Bob Ross-like voice. Happy little accidents. I just need a squirrel in my shirt pocket. Okay, let's see. Let's give her a little bit of a smile and let's see. Man. This has been a tricky one for sure. All right, man. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. Where's better to do the UV maps? ZBrush or somewhere else? So ZBrush, kind of like Retopology, ZBrush will give really good temporary UVs. Sometimes you can get away with using it for the actual UVs, but sometimes it can be difficult to control. So I will usually do my final UVs somewhere in a program that's specialized for them. This looks like a bird nose. Bird nose. Gosh. Okay. I gotta fix this stuff. What time we got? It's been an hour. Okay. Still got time to fix it. Probably everyone at least once in his life tried to draw like Bob Ross. Yeah. Have I tried cycles? I have. Yep, I like both cycles and Eevee. They're both great. All right, let's kick this in and down. My gosh. I think her eyes are just too close to the front. Okay, 1 second, and I'll answer some more questions. This is just driving me crazy when it's so far crappy. I need to fix it. Why are you so crappy? Hey, what's up, me? You weren't the first one here today? Usually either you're the first, dude. Must have had a haircut or something. Been here the whole time? Oh, did I miss it? Well, that tells you how much I've been paying attention today. Sorry about that. All right, I better save this. Not that I want to save it. I'm gonna throw it away and start over again. And I got the cheek area good, and the character starts to look good. Are cheeks so important? Yes. They're very, very important. Probably, yeah, I would say one of the most important parts in the face to get looking correct. Okay, let's give her some eyelids and see if we can get that going. Did I make the 2D drawing? No, that was made by Josh Black. It's a friend of mine that I worked with at Disney Interactive. Yeah, he's a fantastic concept artist. Does really good stuff. Do you retopo these characters? Not typically. I usually make these for 3D printing, and these are just for the stream, so I usually don't. Okay. $119 watching and only 24 likes. Hit that button. Oh, thank you so much. Looks like 226 people watching across all 3 platforms. It's a little slow today, which is crazy. Usually it's up around 300. Not that I'm complaining at all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. I want to Z3. I want to, but currently only on Pixologic. But I would like to eventually. I have my own channel, Shane Olson Art, on Twitch, and just Shane Olson on YouTube. Like I said, I want to. I just haven't had the time. Okay. Our head is 2. Attendee. Oh, that's great. It's 15. Yep. No better time to start than the present. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Okay. man. Okay, let's give her some upper eyelids and see how that does. Okay, I'm going to switch over to, let me see if I have that loaded. Nope. Okay. I'm going to have to go find it really quick. Let's see, 1 second. So I'm going to go grab a material that I haven't pushed over to this version yet. Where did I put it? There it is. ZBro model. Okay, right there. This is called ZBro Gray, and it kind of shows your sculpt better, so I can see the surface of it. Skin shade 4 is good for when you're doing the coloring and stuff like that later on. So I want to use ZBrush with a mouse. I wouldn't recommend it. Just as some advice from me, because a mouse, I think I say this every single stream, but that's okay, because people need to know. But a mouse, it only has a click. It's either 100% or 0, right? There's no in between. Whereas with a pen and a tablet or something like that, you have pressure sensitivity. And when you're doing a stroke, something like this, you couldn't really do that with a mouse because it is 100%. So it would, I always equate it to like having a toggle switch in your car instead of a gas pedal, right? That's kind of how it would be. And it doesn't have to be an expensive tablet at all. Just something with pressure sensitivity. That's all. You could use a super cheap Wacom tablet if you want. Whoa, look at that. Made some holes. Crazy, look at that. Whoa, what did I do? Okay, I better save it. It's starting to do weird things. Did it work that time? Yeah, okay. Weird. That was weird. Okay, let's try. I want to push this in further. And you don't always have to have Sculptress Pro turned on, you know, dynamic topology. If you just want to adjust something and not have it divide itself, like this. come back with pinch and make it cleaner. All right. Okay, let's see if we can shape those eyes a little better. No, I turned it off for a minute. Because pinch and the detail brush kind of work against Sculptus Pro. It's trying to subdivide while you're trying to pinch, and that ends up in not where you want it usually. Okay. I want to make this nose more subtle from this angle right here because it looks like a bird or something. How do you generally make the eyelid? One of two ways. I'll either build it up with just my sculpting brushes, or I'll put in a half of a sphere and then shape it around the eye. Yeah, this design has really been challenging today. I'm going to make that eyelid a little taller. Where you end up. What are you talking about, me? Agony City? Yeah, it's kind of a I don't know, I guess a magnet, like north and north poles going together. They just kind of fight. Can you use hairbrush for doing that as well? I've been having a lot of fun using your brushes. Oh, thanks. That's awesome. They make the experience of sculpting more like drawing, which is quite enjoyable. So thanks a ton for making them. Yeah, no worries. Oh, Agony City is a Bob Ross term? Okay. I guess I don't watch Bob Ross enough. Why does the head still have polygroups? Is it necessary? No, it's not necessary. They're just left over from when I merged everything together. All right. Let me just work on this ear for a minute. Yeah, this one might take me more than one session for sure. Just because I'm struggling with it. Whoops. Okay. So for that, I don't know if you caught that, I just masked it off and then pushed it in. Sometimes the best solutions are the most simple ones. maybe not that pointy. You're in the wrong chat. No worries. Okay. Just saving this again just to make sure. Okay, and I think our brows are still too low. I'm gonna get them higher. You can use the pinch brush to kind of redirect the surface if you want to, because the pinch brush is pinching geometry together. So on either side of the pinch line, it's actually pulling the geometry up towards that pinch line, so you can kind of reshape things. Okay, I think I know what's sort of wrong here. Okay, I'm going to try some stuff now. So whenever my sculpt isn't working like I want it to, I just start trying stuff. And I can duplicate it if you're ever worried about trying stuff and like losing your work and not being able to go back, just duplicate it. Whoa. Don't do that. There we go. So weird when it does that. It just like, it's almost like fire on paper, and it's like starts to burn in. Like, it's weird. Okay. So for me, her profile is feeling very kind of smushed in. So I'm going to try and pull her muzzle out. And what I call the muzzle is this whole area right here. It just feels very shallow. Without, here, let's hide her. This, and just kind of pull this forward. No. And that nose is still so pointy and bird-like. Now it looks like the gorillas. That's what's going on. Her mouth, look at the mouth is so far down. It's way low. This whole area is way low. Okay. So, what I'm going to do now is take this. And somebody was asking, why don't I work in Z-Remesh and that kind of stuff. So this is to a point where I feel like I can Z-Remesh it without too many repercussions, but I want to keep a lot of the, some of the, the detail and stuff that I put in here. So I don't want to kill it. I want to take this around the eyeball a little bit more. And then smooth it. Whoa, see that? That's so crazy. It just wants to eat into it. So just undo it and yeah, crazy. Okay. Okay, I just wanted to give myself kind of an area where I can make a polygroup. So if we look at our polygroups, we're just going to make the whole thing one. And then basically what I'll do is I'll hide these eyes, and you can make polygroups by making a mask like this and then hitting Control W, and it'll put it into a polygroup. I like that burning bug. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll hide it. And then I'll make another one. I think I might take this all the way out to the edge here. All right, let's see how far. So I want to take this right to the edge of that eye. And I went past a little bit right here. Okay. And I want to get a little closer. So, and what I'll do is I'll turn my sculpt to the side like this because I can. And I'm right-handed and I can pivot from my elbow down. Like, so if you're left-handed, you can flop it the other way. But essentially that way I can kind of pivot from my right side. Hey Storm, how's it going? Okay, and then we can do another one here up to underneath that eyelid. Just want to make sure you get all the way to the opening of the eye. You don't want to leave any stragglers. And then this one I'll take and make a mask out of it, like the Incredibles mask, kind of. Oh, looks like I have some stragglers. See those two? So I'm going to undo this and go back to and add these to the mask. Okay, let's try that. There we go. Okay, caught them. All right. So for this one, yeah, I'll just take it across the bridge of the nose and across the bridge of the nose down here like a mask. Then just take it back around like a mask. Oh, looks like this side I didn't get them. That's weird. That's okay. I can fix it. Let's see. Let's switch over to skin shade so we can see these. So far they look like this. What's the purpose of doing polygroups? So basically I'm going to use these as Z-Remesher guides. So I'm going to remesh this to be a lot lower and more manageable. You'll kind of see here in a minute why. I'll do another one right here. And this just helps with the flow of the polygons that I'm going to be using. And then what I usually like to do is go across the nose, like all the way across like this, and then down across the sides of the mouth like that, because that's where your smile line goes. And then I can either go straight down like this, or I can go around like this. I'll typically go around. There we go. Right. Yep, they'll be like guidelines. Okay, so that's probably good. I'm not going to be too concerned about the ears. I don't think I can put one in the ear just so it doesn't destroy what I have, you know. But I'm not too concerned about it. Usually I'll just redo it anyway. And maybe one more around here like this. Kind of big. Okay. Oh. Got to look for those stragglers. But you don't want stragglers because when you Z-Remesh, it could take them into account. So see these little yellow dots that I missed right there? It will try to put those in their own group, and that would be bad. So basically what I'm going to do is do a mirror and weld, which could cause trouble in the mouth. I'm not sure. Oh, no worries, Storm. Yeah, this is recorded. It'll be on Pixologic's YouTube channel when they get it up there. Okay, so let's do, I'm going to save this again. Duplicate. And I mirror it to get the yellow dots on the right-hand side, because mirror and weld will mirror from screen left to screen right. So now I'll do a mirror and weld, and you'll see that they're gone now. The only problem with mirror and weld sometimes is if your mouth is closed, there's a possibility it will weld your mouth shut. Nobody wants that. Okay, so let's try to do a Z-Remesher and see what happens here. And Z-Remesher will also follow peaks and valleys. And since the stem of this neck is round, I want to give it a peak for it to follow. So I can use this clip curve brush and just kind of clip it off right here. Like that, to give Z-Remesher a peak to follow. And I could put the neck in its own polygroup if I wanted to. You know, you can take it as detailed as you want, but we'll try this. And I usually use this Easy Z-Remesh plugin. Now, this is a plugin you can get from ArtStation, and I can set my resolution before I run the thing. And if you hover over Easy Z-Remesh, you'll see that it says if you hold down Alt and click, it will run with tessellation. But since I've been using Sculptress Pro, it already is tessemated, so I don't need to do that. So I can just click on this button and cross our fingers. Hopefully it doesn't kill my stream because it is very CPU intensive. Thanks, Neil. Yeah, so for what this plugin does, it's extremely cheap. And it basically just uses what's already built into ZBrush. But it just makes it a little faster and more convenient. Okay, so basically what you want to do after it's done is look for the poles. So it has a pole here, and it's doing some weird stuff here. And it's got like around the nose is kind of trippy. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's not, you wouldn't want to use this for animation, but it's not bad. So usually when I get to this point, if I like it, I'll keep it, and then I'll hit this thing called half it, and it will basically take it and cut it in half and make it even cleaner. Okay. And this, yeah, it's doing some weird stuff across the nose right there. But that's okay. Yeah, this is kind of what it looks like. But it makes it much easier to deal with. So now if I hit D for dynamic subdivision, it'll make it soft. And what I'll usually do is uncrease all, because it will add the creases to it. And I don't necessarily want it to have creases. So this is kind of what we're left with. And we can just kind of continue to sculpt. Now, the reason I wanted to have low topology like that is because now I can make big movements. Like I want to move the mouth much closer to the nose, but if it's in high density like Sculptress Pro or Dynamesh, I'm going to have problems scooting the mouth closer to the nose. But you also notice that it got rid of a lot of my details. So all of those nice creases that I got in the eyelids are now kind of gone. So I need to go back in really quick and recrease them, which isn't that big a deal. But now I can scoot this up. I'm actually going to scoot her chin up with it a little bit. Just going to get it closer. I can make some bigger moves, and this is really weird. Makes me laugh how kind of screwy it can look sometimes. Like when you're moving stuff around, just like, what in the world? Why is, just making crazy movements? Because the subtlest, slightest movement can make the biggest changes. This little bird nose is driving me crazy. Whoa. Sculptors Pro is still on. You got to be careful of that. I've been helping Thomas and haven't been to your online class in a few months or two. Has your process changed? Not in 2 months. It's changed in the last 6 months. Can I show the geo after the remesher? Sure. It looks like this. It's not the best, but it's good enough for sculpting on. Her ears look gigantic now. Let's get them pushed in. There we go. All the subtle little movements. Z-Remesh works better than the classic one. It can. Sorry, my mic's popping. It can work better than because what it will usually do is it will dynamically subdivide the geometry before it runs the Z-Remesher. Hey, what's up, Mike? Thanks, man. It's good old Josh Black strikes again. Okay, this is way too heavy. There we go. If I can actually hit the concept, that'd be something else, right? Missed something here. How'd you get it smoothed after Z-Remesh? Oh, I just turned on, dynamic subdivisions. Happy smoothing. Kids running around. I know how that goes. Okay. And a Z-Remesh mesh will pinch just as good as a Sculptors Pro mesh if you have the geometry flowing in the right direction. That's the asterisk. Oh, should animators sculpt mouths closed or open? So what I will do typically is sculpt it closed for the most part, just so I can get the likeness down, and then I'll open it up when it's time for baking my maps and for rigging. I'll leave it slightly open, just because it's easier to rig and easier to bake maps. Okay, let's get our, I want to get some, and poles will always cause issues. See, I know that I can tell there's a pole right here because of what it's doing to that surface. And there it is. Boom. Big old pole. Where can you, Kaylee, where can you learn what? Where can you learn how to sculpt? Well, there's a whole bunch of, if you're just wanting to learn ZBrush, there's Ask ZBrush, there's the Z Classroom at pixologic.com. Those are kind of the basics, where to start. There's also a ton of free videos on YouTube. And I also teach an online course. It's called the 3D Character Workshop. And it takes you all the way from never having touched ZBrush before, all the way to final in-game character, 3D printed character, and portfolio piece. So if you want to check that out, it's at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. Okay. I just got to figure this out. This is driving me crazy. Looks like an alien. Area 51. Alien looks like a gray. Okay. Let's fix it. Hey, Pedro. Barcelona, huh? Hello. I do have a YouTube channel, but it doesn't really have anything on it yet. I'm working on populating it soon, hopefully. Man, what is up with this brow? It's like this heavy brow. There we go. That's looking a little better. Okay. Let's get some eyelashes and eyebrows always help. I don't know what it is, but it always helps. So let's get some on there. Okay, let's go all the way from here. I'm using the Topology Brush. This is how I always do it. And just draw a line all the way down here, and then do it again. And you don't want to get too close because it'll bridge over to the other side. And then you can cross and cross and then cross in the middle, and you'll see it starts to make polygons. And then I'll usually cross in the middle here, here, and then in the middle of all of those. And then hold down Alt and draw drag on the surface, and it will get rid of all those enders. And then you're just kind of left with something that looks like this. And then I take my draw size down to 1 and then tap on the surface. There it goes. And then it'll make new geometry. And then I can split unmask points to get it in its own subtool. And let's see. And now we can come in and see, I want these two kind of lashes kind of sticking off the ends here. Oh, awesome, Dan. I'm so glad you love it. Appreciate it. Okay. So now what I'd like to do is just kind of nudge this geometry into position. I don't want it coming all the way down here, so I can kind of scooch it up. Scooch is a word, right? Can't you use hairbrush to create eyebrows as well? If you're gonna, I mean, you can. If you want to use fiber mesh, you can use fiber mesh. But I'm gonna do stylized, so really chunky and thick, so I can print them on a printer. 3D printer. You can't really print fiber mesh on a printer unless you make it thick intentionally. Scooch. It's totally technical. Okay, so Z remodeler, and then we can extrude this out like this, not too. Okay, and I can take my smooth brush on a really low setting and just kind of come in here and smooth this down. So, because I want it to taper towards the front. Okay. Harry, yeah. Scooch past you and grab the wrench. I love it. Okay, so extrude, you can say a single poly. And that way we can just get this thing sticking out here, and then we'll do it to the next door neighbor. Just scooch right next to the other one. Do that. I'll just use smooth, and then insert another edge loop here, one here. And then I can just use either the snake hook or move and just kind of shape them. Get them to curl back in space. You want to look at these from all sides because you'll get some wonky flowing geometry if you don't. Something like that. You can always look at what it's going to look like by pushing D to dynamically subdivide it. And we'll just do the... I can turn on topological just in case I don't want to touch the neighboring eyelash there. And if you accidentally like get it too down far on itself, like too scrunched in there, you can always grab inflate and bring it back out like this a little bit. There we go. Something like that. How do you insert an edge loop? You just use the Z modeler brush. Turn that on, and by default, if you hover over an edge, it will say, see it says insert edge loop, and then you just click and drag, and it will put it in there. Okay, let's get this adjusted to sit back down on the actual eyelid there. See, all of a sudden it just kind of looks better. A little bit. Still got a ways to go, that's for sure. And you usually want to edit in not dynamic mode, because dynamic mode is kind of it's showing you a preview of what it's going to look like when it's subdivided, so it doesn't always, it's not always exactly what you want. And you can't always grab the points that you want either. Okay. Now, what I can do too is just kind of fill these with a darker color, like a dark gray or something, just temporarily. And then grab the head, and we can fill it with, well, we can even grab this color if we want to. It's pretty, yeah, something like that. Okay. And let's fill these eyes in. And I'm starting to see what the problem is again with the lower. It's just from here, this side is so round and this side is flat. So I'm trying to compensate between the two and trying to find a nice medium that still looks like the concept, but works in 3D space. And that's where I'm struggling, is to try and make it look round, but at the same time have some realistic proportions to it. And it's just like, it's a struggle for sure. Okay, let's see. Let's grab. Put a sphere in here. Yep, the struggle is real. And she's got some yep, classic 2D cheat. Oops. I want to move these. Don't want them floating off the eye too much. Yeah, super cute drawing. I'm trying to get there. And then I'm gonna add a lower eyelid as well. That'll help a lot. Or lower eyelash. There you go. Not eyelid, eyelash. Okay, let's resolve this upper eyelid faster. There we go. Looking better. What is going on? Oh, that's why there's some crazy poles going on right here. It's like the North Pole and the South Pole at the same time. Hey, Shiloh, I'm not sure what coming right means. Or I know what it, I guess I don't understand the context of it. Why use yellow, red, green? Like RGB? Hey, Steven, how you doing? I guess it is getting kind of close, isn't it? Hey, Jose, in your opinion, which short codes are the most useful in Z? Like short codes? Are you talking about like macros? Use an inflate to close this mouth a bit more. Whoops. I always forget Snake Hook Brush has RGB turned on by default. Short codes, I honestly I've never used a short code in my whole time with using ZBrush. So I don't know, I don't have an answer to that, sorry. Okay, I can start to see her a little bit taking shape finally. A little bit. Does Pixar use ZBrush? Indeed. Yes, they do. Okay. Neko Cat, I'm sorry, this is my first time stumbling into do you work in the animation industry or do you do this as a hobby? So I've been in the gaming industry for 22 plus years. I've been doing it since like 1998, 1999. I worked as an animator for 5 years of that career, and then I worked for Disney Interactive for 10 of those years. And I've sculpted for about 7 years, 6, 7 years, something like that. I worked on Disney Infinity. Most of these characters back here, I was on the Disney Infinity team. So, yeah. Blue eyebrows. Let's have blue eyebrows. Okay, let's see. Actually, I don't want to, I just want to have it single-sided here. And split and unmask points. And then we can add dynamic with thickness. So here's what the brows look like right now. And we can do uncrease these. Hey, Sculptor. Just want to say hi. Take care. Yep. Thanks for hanging out. All right. Let's see. Just want to crank up that thickness and then turn off post. There we go. Whoops, not that much. So this is part of dynamic now. It's really cool. Oh, no worries. You can ask. It's totally fine. I appreciate it. Otherwise, it's too quiet, and I get worried. Like, am I streaming to anyone? Okay. Okay. Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, it's finally starting to get there now. But you know, it's I've been struggling with this one. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let's see if we can get a little bit of that roundness back in her chin. Okay. Sometimes you just gotta grab. Yeah, that's what I gotta do. All right. To fix topologies, Z is a good program. Usually when I do topology, I will do it in another program. I'll do temporary retopology in here. But if I'm going to topologize a whole character, I'll usually take it somewhere else. Just because I'm used to, not that ZBrush isn't capable, it's just that I'm used to other programs doing it in there faster. Trying to fix this forehead. It's really bugging me. It's like bulbous. I think I have it too short. Like the whole thing needs to be about like that, as far as like the height on the whole thing. And then you just basically compensate by going back around the back side of the head and filling in the rest and fixing that. Big brained. I don't know. I'll have to play with it. Undo all that. Just wondering, would you say it's a good idea to learn ZBrush over free programs such as Blender for sculpting, or would the work art be more important when applying for jobs? Well, ZBrush currently is the industry standard at the moment, because it can do, it's like the digital sculpting program. So if you're interested in digital sculpting, that's what you want to be learning and using, because that's what, you know, most people are using. Also, this is the you're watching the Pixologic live stream, and Pixologic is the company that makes ZBrush. So a little bit biased here. So I'd say yes, definitely. How long is your course or your character workshop? Yeah, it's lifetime access. So I kind of modeled it around the Pixologic's ZBrush business model, where you purchase it once and then updates are free. Okay. Let's make some lower eyelashes really quickly. NecoCat, basically this whole thing is recorded, so it will be up on Pixologic's YouTube channel not too long after this, and you can go watch exactly how I create the neck and everything if you want to watch that. But essentially I used a primitive object and then stitched it in. Okay. And you can also watch my past streams on there. So I'm not sure what episode this is, but we're into the probably 100, 150, something like that. I've made a whole ton of characters over the months of streaming live on here. Let's see, increase all. There's also other streamers on here. A whole bunch of other streamers there's other stylized sculptors here as well, and you can check all of those out. Let's see. 1 second. Do some thickness. What do you use for Retopo? I use all sorts of different software. It just depends on how I'm feeling at the time. Ashley's the scary one? I don't know about scary, but Ashley's amazing. She usually stops by the stream when she has time. too far. There we go. All right. There's a few little eyelashes that I'm going to put on the back here. Oh, her sculpts, absolutely. Yeah, she does some crazy awesome monsters. And not a lot of people know this, but she can do some crazy good stylized characters. So she's kind of a double threat there. Man, I got a lot to fix on her yet. Oh goodness. Any plans for 2.0? Yes, they're in the works right now. I didn't release, well, I just released 1.5 not too long ago. But yeah, I've got some stuff going on. Hey, what's up, Mike? Oh, are you serious, Mike? Oh, we got to talk, brother. We got to talk. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Okay, well, I think we're going to be wrapped up for the day. Mike, you showed up just as I was finishing. Yeah, you should message me. Hey, Charlie. Okay. I gotta fix this profile. This whole cheek area is just really fighting me. Fighting me. All right. Okay, I think we're gonna end here today. She's looking a little cross-eyed, but that's all right. Okay, so getting there. All right. I know, right? Like 4 minutes. I'm out. Oh goodness. Oh, this one is, yeah, this one I've fought the whole time, but I think she ended up in a decent place. I think she still has a ways to go though. So, all right, guys. Yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. Thanks for watching. And as always, my brushes and user interface are free. If you'd like to have them, you can go over to 3D Character Workshop, grab them there. And yeah, Mike, thanks for swinging by, man. We'll have to talk. And thanks everybody for hanging out with me. Like I said, spending your Monday with me. I really, really appreciate it. And we'll continue with this because a lot of people like to see how I make the hair. The hair is always elusive. So we'll do the hair on this one, and you can see how I make it. So, all right, everybody, take care. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time. All right. Cheers. Bye.